Sorry, ignore that.
Okay. Here we go.
You just turn that on?
Unfortunately, I am used to it automatically recording, and I told myself,
Uh-oh.
make sure I record. So we've just missed the entire thing that Ralph did.
Oh, for
Uh-oh.
God's sakes.
Hoping to go back and pick some of it up myself later.
Well, I don't think it's a big deal for the minutes.
No, I don't either. It's just, this was so nice for people in the town to be able to see.
And it's totally my fault because I have set up my account now, or the library account now, to automatically record. And I told myself not to forget to do this.
But you did.
And I went and forgot.
Okay, well, if there's any other questions, whether right now or in the future, I'm in town, so, and Deb has my number.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
we really appreciate you doing this because this gives us a much better idea of where we stand.
It was, as a Wellington resident and a taxpayer, I was a little disconcerted as I walked around the building and saw the condition of some of the conditions that existed.
We're gonna make it better.
Building maintenance is something that municipalities are not always very good at. And it's sad. Because it gets costly.
You pointed out the rot and stuff around that back door. And I
Yes,
was at the town offices a couple of weeks ago, and I was shown that the front door of that was also doing exactly the same thing, but the town has put it off because it's too expensive.
oh, so we'll just let it rot and. fall
Apparently,
apart.
yes.
Great,
We're gonna get on this stuff. We're gonna keep our building in good shape. Now that we know we can do it.
Well, there's been so much to catch up with in the last couple of years, the last 2 years or so.
It's just
Yeah.
been
Now it's time to look at the building. You're right, Deb.
it's 15 years old.
Yes.
That's, probably 5 years past when things start to deteriorate.
Well,
we're gonna do it. Ralph, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, if we're good,
Contacting you on and off. Thank you very much for your
I'm sorry,
that I will be contacting you on and off for your help. Thank you.
that's
very
fine.
much.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, if we're good, I'm gonna back out now. I've got some other reports to write and I've got to finish this one up for you folks.
Yeah, it's why we let you go first.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Have a good meeting.
you too. Okay, so I completely apologize for not hitting the record button. Like I said, that's totally my fault because I'm used to it starting all by itself. I'm gonna have to get used to this if we're using the town account. So when the video gets posted, it'll have to have a note saying Ralph's, I mean, we really didn't do anything else. But Ralph's report is missing. Okay, so
And we're on director's report.
that's the next thing on our list, director's report.
Do I have it? Yes. I did.
Can I add something before we do that in regards to what we just did with Ralph? I did receive an email from the company that is local here in town. And forgive me if I'm not saying it right. Cenaxo, it's CENAXO. They're just down where Chase Building used to be at the bottom of the hill on 74. And they contacted us. Was it you, Joan, who had stopped into their office a couple
No,
weeks ago?
it was me.
It was Joan?
I got their name from Ralph when I saw Ralph at the transfer station one day until I went in to see them.
Well, he said that he would be there for us. I explained to him that we were having this meeting tonight, that Ralph was going to be going over these things with us, and that in the very near future, we would like to have them come, because that's what Ralph suggested it. And
Okay.
even when we had that walk around, so that we can get an idea as far as also, and Ralph was going to help us as far as prioritizing and cost factors, and if they can and cannot do things. And that way we know who else we could go to look for help if they can't. So that was really nice that they had reached out to us to see, how we were doing and if they could be of help. So I just want to let you know that they are aware and there for us when that time, comes. I just told you.
So
Joe,
this company is what?
They're building restoration. They do masonry. They do all kinds of different things.
Okay,
And they're the
only
ones
in
that-
commercial buildings. So
okay.
their specialty is just commercial public buildings.
You know what? I hate to say it. Just a minute. I don't know if we can discuss this. If it's not on the agenda, we can't do it.
Oh, I was
But
just-
does it come under building maintenance? Yeah.
Yes, it would come under building maintenance,
And-
which is the section that I moved up.
Yeah, okay,
Correct.
okay. So this is a commercial,
Masonry and Concrete Company. They do repairs on.
I
okay,
was just adding that.
okay. Now, it's masonry and concrete. What is their name?
Yeah, can you spell that, Deb?
Yes, it is CENAXO. And they're right.
Okay. Tax-Exempt, okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so when we get back to new business, we can put that in a slot.
Yeah, I just pulled up their, oh, I don't have a camera, so I can't show. I just pulled up their website and it says masonry contractor, brick and block work, masonry cleaning, masonry repair and maintenance, sheet metal contractor, custom fabrication. So the first 5 things on their list all have to do with masonry.
You know,
So
this
that's
would
a
be
big
good.
thing.
Okay, so that we can't do anything with this at the moment until the grounds committee. So this information.
Okay, we haven't talked about that yet, Joan.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We have to talk about this again later in the
Right.
agenda. Okay,
Well, we have to wait for Ralph's final report too.
well, we have to talk about it in the agenda. Ralph's final report will go to buildings and grounds.
Right.
Anyways, that's another story. I'm tying us up. I'm sorry.
Okay. Deb, did you have another director's report or is it the same one from last week?
The
Same
same
one.
one that Hope and I did should be the same for today. Yes, no difference. I mean, there are a couple of things that we added that had happened since then, but I think you have mentioned them in the agenda.
Okay.
So, which I know we're trying not to repeat for time and also, so
Okay.
hopefully you guys got a chance to
Okay.
read it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
Pretty much self-explanatory. I don't know if you want us to go word for word through things.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Can we jump down to the IRS 990 form? Because the rest of the stuff we can read.
Just one thing I want to say, we could use the board's help with the bake sale. Baking things would be really nice. If anybody would sign up. I know, Rebecca, I got yours. Thank you for that, my dear. But the friends in the library do need bakers to bake things for that. going down.
I'm doing crafts.
Don't worry about that, just the baking.
I don't want to do baking. I want to do my crafts.
Oh, you are doing your crafts. Yeah,
Yes.
come and support those who are going to be here because Karen Ann is one of them. Okay, down to the IRS 990 form. Hope, jump in wherever, my dear. All I'm going to say about that is that it was due, as you can tell, on November 15th, unfortunately, because with our last Monday's meeting, we were not able to approve it. So it didn't go in on time. Our accountant, Mr. Navratil, did do an extension. If we could get that approved tonight, we can send it right out. I do not know whether he will be able to do it or not, but we can certainly give it a try. But he was going to do an extension anyways, so we are covered. I just didn't want to be late. We've been late for I don't know how many years past. It would have been nice.
Okay,
Okay, so let's,
did you send a copy of that form?
You have to review it. Hopefully you guys already did. And
Yeah, no, everybody got a copy, right?
they did.
Okay, just checking.
okay, I
Now
don't know
it's up
where.
to you guys. Yeah. You guys have that. I think that, I don't know if that's a voting matter or not.
Okay, when did you send it, Deb?
It went out with, when Hope sent out the director's report and all other things to do of the meeting, what, maybe Friday or Saturday before last Monday's meeting. It was all together in a packet. It was part of it.
I don't think I have that. I haven't.
No,
I don't have
no.
that.
What I got that day was simply the director's report and the foundational packet. Because
Yeah,
I didn't-
Deb, you didn't send that to me. I sent, yeah, what Mr. Tullis said in the director's report.
Oh, well, so I was the last one to know about that. Dang it. Oh, gosh.
'cause I was sitting here wondering what I had done wrong that I hadn't seen this.
No, I thought that went out. I'm sorry. I thought that went out. That. All right. Gosh, dang it.
Okay, no, hang on.
I have to,
No. Okay, I have a 2020 tax return for the library, but I couldn't open it.
I only sent what he sent me, how he sent it. Okay, hold on. I got this, I might lose you guys. Let me try something here. Gosh, dang it. I wish somebody would have said something. I thought I did that.
Yeah, I thought you had sent it out that same day.
I know,
Because he had
It's okay.
called.
It's okay, Deb. I've got a letter here that went to me personally, and it's got an attachment on it, so let me share it. What do you see on your screen right now?
I just see our director's report.
Okay, then I will stop sharing that,
Dang it.
and I will share this. But as far as I can tell, this went to just me. And when I tried to open it, it wouldn't open.
I probably sent it in hopes or thinking that you were going to send it to everybody else. I apologize.
And like I said, since I couldn't open it and we had talked about it, I didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I didn't know it couldn't get opened.
Okay, so
I'm really sorry.
this is just our tax exempt income tax form.
Okay,
You can see it's got our last year's budget, our current year's budget, our investment income, other revenue on it, our net assets, which is all the bank accounts, and a place for Rebecca to sign. And then you have to put in why it's tax exempt. So there's just a little, I signed the last 2 years worth. And then it's 29 pages long, but it's a tax return. So some of this is duplicates. Some of it is, I just lost it. Hold on. Some of it is just a bunch of X's. I can't find it. Okay, I hope you guys can still see it because I completely lost it. You can't see it either?
No,
Okay. Then
Got a hard copy in front of
let
me.
me stop sharing and let me try again. Okay, that's why. Okay, it lost out of my selection of things to share. So let me try again. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I just assumed that this would get sent to people, and I just looked at it. So again, my bad. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be chair anymore if I keep messing up like this.
Hey, bite your tongue.
Okay, so as I was saying, it's 29 pages long, but this is just, you know, did we get this? Did we get this? Did we get this? Did people give us money? Did we have to pay people for things? And you'll notice it's pretty much all no's.
Mhm. Well, a lot of,
This one says yes. Form 990 has to go out to everybody. Do we have a written conflict of interest policy? Do we have a written whistleblower policy? Those are the things that are getting yeses. And then it's just a list of people and more just numbers. So I will send it out to everyone.
But they won't be able to read it though, maybe. I gotta do, I don't know, what am I gonna do? I've got what he sent me, but if you're not able to read it, probably nobody else is gonna be able to read it then either.
Well, I'm just thinking, I just got it open here. And I'm wondering if maybe I can download it. Okay, I finally got it open, but it's not giving me a chance to download it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out, figure out how I can get a
okay,
copy.
so on this IRS form, it has been done by, it's done by the accountant.
Mhm.
It is being sent to the board members who will peruse it and decide, okay, now, does that mean that we have to vote on it next meeting?
No, I have signed the
Okay.
last 2 years without it being voted on.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's sent out, everybody can look at it and, okay, that's it, okay.
And Rebecca's gotta come in to sign it this year since you were the treasurer.
Yeah, I was the treasurer before, so I signed it the last, well, I signed last year for 2 years. 18 and 19.
Okay, so that means Rebecca's in the hot seat this year.
Yeah, she's got it this time around.
So I don't know, Deb, can you open it and download it as a PDF?
Can I do that when there's like 28 pages? I certainly am going to try.
Yeah, of course you can.
Thank you for having such great faith in me. I usually people have more in me than I have myself. I gotta do something about that. I can do all things.
Otherwise, my option is to print it up and rescan it tomorrow.
No,
How
let
does
me
that
let me do that. I'll figure it out.
Just a minute.
Thank goodness we have an extension. Oh my goodness. Okay, I will take care of that. So sorry again, you guys. Like, dang it. I'm not happy with myself.
Okay, so the 990 form is sent to the board members for their information. Rebecca will sign and return it.
Exactly.
Okay,
Hey, on that note, when we're still speaking about the 990 form, what we will have you guys do now that the new board is going to be coming into, how do you say?
We vote on the new board at next meeting
In
in
December.
December.
So I will need each one of you to sign for the year, the new year, a conflict of interest. That is something that is required and part of the 990 form. So
Okay,
so don't forget, while it's still fresh on our minds, we'll do that. We'll print it out so each one can come in at their leisure, once everybody's sworn in or whatever, that, you know, after December, our whole new board is in place and we'll get that taken care of. Sound good?
Yes.
Hope you want to go on with the rest of that while I make this note?
Yeah.
So I had on the agenda, investments and monies, but we've got a bunch of stuff here. So go ahead, Hope.
Yeah, the last thing, and I'll keep the rest for the rest of the agenda, is just our newest monthly drawing. It's for Wellington Pizza One, $25 gift card. It's taken off a lot better than last month. So, you know, we keep getting people to donate. We're trying to get the girls to get them at the door. So it's really nice to keep this monthly fundraiser going. And I'm pretty sure the rest is on the agenda. We already talked about them.
The rest of it's on the agenda.
Yeah, so I'll let you go ahead.
Okay. So next thing, old business, monies and investments. So that's exactly what they had
Yeah.
there. So let me share again and you guys can talk about those.
we already did that last month. Didn't we?
Yeah, so the next thing on the agenda is just monies and investments. So according to the director's report, what we have is
Okay.
the STIF account. They hired somebody new in the assistant and the financial office and promoted Tish to assistant business manager. And I talked to the town and they said the new person would be taking over a lot of the accounts, but Tish will stay with us. So we don't have to worry about switching to a new financial person. Now, Hope, you're going to have to explain this last one because I know what happened, but you need to say details as to exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so we got a message from Lori at the town saying that there is a charge on our account asking us if we can explain. We had no idea what the charge was, so we contacted Daisy at the bank. She told us that this is actually an annual charge for the type of account that we have. Since the account's been, she said it happened like we had a 1 year. She basically said it happened when they switched over from their banks, but then, let me explain this right. By adding so many people on the account, and I know she described like the online banking that we all have access to and making transfers online. She described it as it's kind of like a nice luxury. So we wouldn't have to be coming into the bank, but on that hand, it is an annual charge. Now, since we personally didn't know or weren't a part of this discussion, I mean, even Daisy had to get back to us because she didn't know. We do have 1 year to figure it out. And so right now, I know we're in the process of seeing like who needs to be, like how many signers, because I know that's a charge too, like $10 worth of the charge or something, whereas the amount of signers, the amount of people on the account. So we're trying to work with Daisy to see if we switch back to how it was or just because we've never had fees for the library for a bank. So we don't want to accrue the fees, but at the same time, there's some things that it does give us. So we're trying to pretty much work through that. And I know she said a year, but you know, years go pretty fast, so.
Now, is this a checking account or what?
All of our accounts with Berkshire Bank.
Okay.
And the
So,
thing is too, they're leaving it at, well, they waived it for this year.
Yeah,
Hopes
yeah,
that
they did waive it.
you know, and they'll revisit it next year and, you know, decide whether they'll waive it again. But meanwhile, we take that chance. We have a year where perhaps we should be looking at a different bank if they can't permanently take these fees off, because then you're on, you know, pins and needles. It's like, you know, so does the shoe drop next year? And now we have to pay the fees. Maybe we should start looking this year just in case that happens. We're putting everything in their corner. I think we need to be a little proactive and see where else we could go where we don't have to worry about such fees.
And be aware, these are not cheap fees.
And you know, and not having.
not feet.
They're not cheap. Hold on a second, Deb. Hold on a second.
Okay.
They're not cheap fees. How much is it going to cost a month with these fees, Deb?
Gosh, what was it? I can't, it was like 40 something dollars.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think you told me $45 a
like
month.
$500, a little more than like $544 a year. I think
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Okay.
40
Yeah, it's an issue.
something. Any fee is not a good thing. It was a ridiculous amount per month and annually. So she's looking into, it's under cash management. So she was looking into to find out what they could do for us on a permanent basis. If not, what it would look like to go back to what we used to have. It's something that the last director with the town put in place. And she didn't seem to think it was necessary. It's like Hope said, it's kind of like all luxury little things, but we don't know enough about it yet because we weren't in on it. It was before our time. So
Yeah.
We haven't heard back from Daisy yet about it.
Okay, so this is something that we need to get more information on. Joan?
Okay, so the board needs to consider whether to continue with the present bank accounts or change them because of high fees.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
and then the last thing on the report is at the October meeting, we voted to renew the CD for another 6 months. So that has officially been done.
Yep,
The percentage rate, we got the paperwork just the other day on it, and the percentage, Hope, was it 0.25? The interest, I think, was 0.25.
I think, but just had to go back and check to be sure.
Pretty sure it was. I mean, I can go and pull it out now, but that's supposedly the best that we could get. So. But it gives us 6 more months to, you know, to play with.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay, so what's the next thing?
so next thing on the agenda, contractors. That was actually already covered. That's the Cinexo, whatever that is, and getting in touch with them to do some of the work. So that's already been covered.
But this
Yes,
is-
Joan.
once again, we're going ahead and doing something without the groundwork. Okay, if you're going to have a buildings and grounds.
Okay,
they're
that-
the ones to do it.
Okay, okay,
Discussing Contractors
Okay,
now.
Joan?
You shouldn't be talking to contractors until you have the things in line.
okay,
This
Joan,
all
can
the
we hold off a second? Because that's under new business.
Well, then let's just cancel this contractor here and move on. And
Okay,
then we'll get to the, okay.
and we can cancel the other two if you want, but what Joan is talking about and what is next on the agenda is the idea of forming a couple of committees. One to look at building information, get more information on what needs to be done, get in charge of contractors, get estimates, And then the other one is our policies still, there's some adjustments to the bylaws that still have to be made.
Simple.
Hope and Deb are still under interim directors. And because they're under interim directors and the way they're described, even though they're full-time employees, they're not eligible for sick leave or vacation. They would have to be put into a full-time position. So that's another thing that maybe we should get the policy committee back together, whether the people that were on the policy committee before want to do it again, because I do believe that was Kathy and Elena, or if you want to form a new one. But we should have a couple of people looking into these so that we can do the groundwork, Joan, okay? Okay, Joy just texted me and said, sorry, she forgot. Okay, so since we don't have a full 6 people here, and we don't want to start assigning committee slots to people who are not here, at the next meeting, we're going to be electing officers anyway. We should probably consider creating those committees then. So I think people should think
Okay.
about what it is that they would like to be doing. Okay, so that covers policy committees, that covers building and grounds committees. Okay, was there anything else, Joan?
No, it just, you know, you gotta, we're putting the cart before the horse, and we do it and we do it and we do it, you know, and it ends up with, you know, just, it's like a buckshot, just a buckshot approach to business. And we shouldn't be talking with, you know, contractors and contacting them, et cetera, until your committee says, this is when we want to do it. You know what I mean? And we've done the policy committee right, you know, the job descriptions, that's been done pretty well. But this other one, it just.
Well, I'm not
That's
saying
make
that
it
those were just some suggestions about what the building and grounds committee could do. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do immediately. These are
Yeah.
just some things that we have talked about at previous meetings that should now probably be looked at by a smaller group
Yeah,
and then brought back to us. So that's the only reason that is there, is because those are 2 things that had come up in previous meetings that would then go to a building and grounds committee.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying that's the first thing that they should do.
but I think you're very right that putting off all of these committees and putting off anything at the moment until after the next meeting is a good idea. Okay? And
Okay.
and give everybody a chance to think about things too.
Okay, then, Deb, would you like to explain what happened to the pole light?
We had a hit and run at the library. We closed up one Thursday evening last week, and when we got to work 8 o'clock the next morning, it was down. They never left a note. They never called, and not even since, to say that, gee whiz, you know, I did this to your light pole. What we did was we called a lot of people. We called the state police, had them out. They filed a report, which then we called the town, and Kelsey filled out the form, put in a claim for us. We had the electrician out, and he cut off the power and fixed the wires, and it is covered. And so everything's kind of been done and in the works and taken care of as far as it can be so far. The light itself, which I haven't actually written to the town yet, I'm waiting to hear back from Troop C, their clerk there, because we requested a accident report. I wasn't able to get it online, not for lack of trying. So we're waiting from them. And once I get that information, I'm going to pass it on to the town, explain to them that the electrician said that the globe part is fine. The pole is not, you can't use it anymore. The police did have a lot of suggestions as far as how to prevent this from happening all the time, to protect the lights so that they don't constantly get knocked over. Because it's happened like, I think this is like the fourth time, I think more than 4 times. This is, I think, the 3rd or 4th time for that one pole. But other ones have happened too. Matter of fact, there's a pole that has a dent in it from, it didn't come down, but it got hit. It's just aesthetically, the poles, the lights are really pretty. But, and actually I talked to Kathy here, that those guys, they had those kinds of poles because of the whole green thing going on. As far as it had to be up so high, the way it shone down, different things. They're not practical. They're beautiful. They're not practical. They're not even, they're too close to the road. They don't even light up where they're supposed to be lighting. The police suggested before we put that one up again, you ought to think about putting it back or across the other side of the road near the mailbox. But of course that would cost money. I don't know if you want to think ahead in that way, but yeah, there's
well,
an
that can
issue
be
with the
something-
lights getting hit all the time, and there's a number of good reasons why that is happening. We do
So-
have $1,000 deductible from our insurance. I don't know how that works as far as the town goes, but it's all being taken care of.
Okay, so if there's a concern about, should it be put up exactly where it is? Should something be put up around it to keep it? Should it be moved a little bit? We can put that on the committee as well, something that they can talk about. Maybe put a wall around it. So if somebody hits, they hit the wall, not the light.
Let the cars, whoever's hitting it, get damaged before.
Okay, so we kind of went a little crazy with the agenda because I did suggest Ralph go up first, just so he didn't have to sit and wait for us. But that should cover everything that's on the agenda. Yes, Deb.
Can I want to say something else, again, didn't come up, so it's not on our,
Okay, well, just give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec, Deb. Give me
okay,
1 sec. So we have moved through old business. We have moved through new business. There is no one here except us, so there's no present to speak. So now we have concerns. So now, Deb, you can go.
okay. And this kind of has to do with the poles always getting hit and things happening at the library, but there's no recourse. We can't prove anything. And the police, all right, we have cameras. They have not worked in many a year. Just because people started something, didn't finish through on it, whatever. He was surprised we didn't. He said, your town hall has cameras. He said, why don't we? And I said, we do. He did, long story short. He highly recommends that, and you only need 2. And we talked to the electrician who actually put all these things in. We have them inside the building, outside the building. We really do have to get these things in place and working. Hope and I are actually working on that as far as finding the paperwork. And okay, long story short. Anyways, the policeman said, the trooper said that we should have at least 2 cameras on the outside of the building. He said, you only need 2. He said, 1 that would be where you come in and out of the building itself, the entry exit way, and 1 and have it facing where you would see the entrance to the library. So you would see a car and their license plate coming in, and you would see a car with their license plate going out. He said, you should have 2. Those are the 2 most important places. You really don't need it anywhere else. And have them up and running so that when these things happen, they can move forward with it. Our cameras, and he said they could be just our cameras at one point, because I know my car got hit twice in the parking lot. They only run for 24 hours. Once it runs, after 24 hours, it erases itself. It's not good anymore. So if something, for example, were to happen on a Saturday, you would never even know about it on a Monday. So it's kind of crazy. But he said all those things you can program to work when we wanted to. So that's, we're hoping that are doing that. We're working on that. So that's all I want to say as far as the light pole and being able to, see what goes on at the library, get our cameras working.
Yeah, okay. Is that our responsibility or is that something the town should be doing?
Oh, no, it was ours. We did it. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Maybe we should approach the town and say, you've got cameras at your building. How about, how about doing ours? Because they are kind of, the building is theirs too. I know the grounds are, I think the outside of the building, if I'm not mistaken, is as well. I don't know if it means lights. Well, yeah, lights. It might be their thing. We kind of have to look into that, Hope. That might be their thing. Good point, Karen Ann.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
Let me see.
I think so.
Nope, we got a lot of this stuff in the works, but we're just waiting to hear back from people. So we'll let you know when we do.
Okay,
That sound good to you, Hope?
Sure does.
All right. We got it.
okay. Anybody else? Okay, if nobody has anything else, I'm going to officially adjourn at 8:42.
I have to move to, do you have to vote on that?
Yeah. So somebody want to make a motion?
I'll move. Kathy's gonna second, I think. She looks like she's ready to go.
Okay, so if all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Can
Now-
I just say something not to do with the meeting? Because I just thought of one other thing, but it's just kind of, it doesn't have to be on the meeting notes. But since you're all still here, can I do it?
it depends. Is it something that needs to be on the recording or should I turn the recording off?
It's just that the Parks. and
Okay, let me turn the recording off. We are officially adjourned. So let me stop the recording.